Hey guys, so it's a time of the week again where we talk about the most requested stock in our stocks by request series, which is Jollibee. So up until now, no, we've been getting so much requests about the analysis of Jollibee, and I made it like, I guess part of this channel to at least put analysis of Jollibee at least once a week, so you have context on where it is and where it's headed. So if you're new to this and you haven't really seen how Jollibee is, I posted a video last week on where it was, and as you all know, we had 5 full trading days this week, which was more than the shortened trading week that we had last week because the market was closed. But back to where we are, and it seems no, we're just heading towards the end of March, and it seems like things have been going on so fast. There's so many things that have happened, not just in the political climate, not just for Corona, but also for the markets in general. By the way, my name is Marvin Gurmo. I'm a stock market trader and investor. I've been investing in the market for over a decade now, and the goal and the heart of why I create daily videos is really I just want to share my thoughts, my ideas to somehow help you wherever you are in your goal, in your road to become financially free. And though the market may be down, though we are not really where we want it to be, a lot of people have projected the markets to go higher this year. This is a black swan. This is something that people did not see happening. But at the end of the day, good market, bad market, it's all about how you deploy your plan and how you stick to it and how you follow it as well. So context also, there were a lot of people asking about how does this entire coronavirus impact Jollibee, and I want to share that also before I run through the charts as well. Here's the thing: one of the reasons why you see this large drop down over here from here to here, uh, number one, this area there was already news that Smash Burger wasn't uh, it was dragging Jollibee. Then by the end of the year, they disclosed that Smashburger continued its losses. And here's the thing: Jollibee has over 300 plus Smashburger stores in the US. They acquired it a few years ago, and they acquired it under the context that they wanted to turn it around. They wanted Smashburger to do better. They wanted to upgrade it, and as they start to turn it around, that it will make money later on. So it's been a couple of years already. Smash Burger really has a drag. And if I'll try to add how the coronavirus is hitting it, is if there will be a lockdown in the States, and as you all know, there are a lot of people already who are not going out, it will hit our retail, it will hit fast food chains like this. There will be a lot of people who won't be spending a lot of money. And when that happens, it will continue to dampen the possibility of Smash Burger to earn. Please do note this also: the name of the game and the plan of how Jollibee will fix Smash Burger is, I really believe this, areas where there isn't a lot of traffic, where areas where it's not earning so much. I believe they're gonna close that. I believe they're also gonna refine their menu. They're gonna remove certain items that people don't like, and then in certain areas where this is very strong area. This is a very high traffic area. This is where Burger is very popular. They're gonna double down on that. So I think that will be the plan. But what we need to see is how long will it take before Jollibee gets to implement that, and how long does it take before Jollibee gets to implement it. So if you're a long term investor, your analysis will always be number one. Do I think Jollibee can turn it around? Do I think Jollibee are the numbers telling me that there's a possibility of a turnaround? If the answer to that is no, then even if the stock price is down right now, you should not be buying it. Or you think Jollibee will turn it around. This is a second scenario for people who are investing. If you think Jollibee will turn it around, but there might be better opportunities buying other stocks with better fundamentals, with a greater ability that the income is more predictable, then you might be better off buying that stock instead of buying Jollibee. Third is you're thinking that at a certain point, either in a year or 2 or 3 years, Jollibee will somehow fix Smash Burger. Smash Burger will get its act together, and all of their other fast food chains will continue to fire on certain cylinders. Please remember also that Chowking is having a hard time because of the Asian swine flu. Because it's a pork prices are African swine flu. I'm sorry, pork prices are higher. Hence, it's hitting their margins. It's hitting their bottom line as well. Then, because of the coronavirus, China, a lot of their fast food chains in China, or a lot of their other shops. Please remember, Jollibee has other shops in China, that are somehow different brands from Dunkin' Donuts to Konji shops, etc. So those areas that are affected are also closed right now. Since they're closed right now, then guess what? It's not adding revenue also to Jollibee. In the same way, what you're seeing here in the Philippines, the lockdown, which is Jollibee's if in Tagalog, it's in Tagalog baluarte, or it's bellywick, or where it's very very strong. If a lot of people are also not going out, we've been told to social distance ourselves. We've been, and a lot of people are not spending. Everyone's just eating at home. Then there's an expectation that Jollibee's income already for 2019 or for 2020 won't be as good. So 2019 was a bad year. Then if this affects Jollibee also in terms of what's happening globally plus locally, then you can expect a bad year of earnings for them as well. So the name of the game is, are you willing to wait when it starts to turn around? Because at the end of the day, when you analyze some stocks, it will always be number one. If you buy it today, does it have enough uh does it buy today with higher risk? There's a risk that it may go lower and you may wait longer before it starts to go up. Or you could wait later on when all the risk is gone. You could wait later on when all the fear is gone, but you buy it at a higher price. But you could have used your money somewhere else and you didn't have to wait in this period of uncertainty. So those are the scenarios that I could point out if you are investing. Those are the scenarios that could possibly happen. And if Jollibee continues to still be profitable but not at a very, very fast pace, they will still have dividends for those of you who like dividends. But again, as you all know, Jollibee doesn't really give dividends that are super high, not as high as how Globe would give it, GMA7, PLDT, etc. So that's how normally it would go. So Jollibee really is, you're buying it because of its potential to grow, not because of how high the dividends that they're actually giving. Now that being said, comment below if you guys like that, because there were a lot of people who were also asking how does this impact the fundamentals of Jollibee. That's why I created that first part of the video for Jollibee, just so you know also how it is and where it's actually going as well. So if you note this entire period, I also made a video about this already, but I just wanted to point out that this entire uptrend from 2008, if you look at it here, I'm gonna encircle it. This entire upward push that took more than a decade is already over. And if there's one thing I know, and I've said this in different videos, is that when an uptrend is broken, a new trend will follow, a new trend will form. So this is over 1,000+%, 1,100% from the lowest point. So the massive uptrend that took a decade to that took a decade to progress is also over. So now the next question is this: what trend are we on from the grand scheme of things, and where do we think it's actually headed? So just to give you context also, one thing that you can do is just try to connect everything. So you see it and you don't base things on what your emotions are telling. If you connect this, if I'll zoom out, what does this look like? It mainly looks like, hey, it looks like the stock is still in a massive downward push. It looks like the stock is in what we call a downtrend still. Until this shifts, until this changes, then there's no expectation yet that Jollibee could start to reverse. There's no expectation yet that Jollibee could actually go up. So if you are a position trader, unless trend line, this massive downtrend line is broken, then there's no shot that Jollibee could reverse up. Again, if you are a position trader, the goal is to follow the trend lines. The goal is to follow how strong of a buying is needed for it to be able to break this trend line. So again, I mentioned the fundamentals earlier. One could be COVID. One could be that one could be that if COVID is not, they find a cure. More people start to go out. Positive sentiment. People start spending again. That could be one. Second is if Smash Burger and all of its other subsidiaries produce earnings that are above and beyond what people are expecting, then that could be another one. Then, if you see growth back to Jollibee as well, please remember the main goal, the main narrative of Jollibee on why they are doing what they're doing is they really want to be one of the biggest fast food chains in the world. So, if you're asking me what could possibly be it, so it could be a combination of all of those things. And you have to respect this very, very strong and very, 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 very massive trend line that we're seeing here. Now, sorry about that. For those who are trying to look at it from a support and resistance perspective, let me show this to all of you. You have this, then you have this, then I'll try to put this and this and maybe this and this. What I did right there is I showed you the possible support and resistance levels for Jollibee as of this point in time. So it please remember, technical analysis, plotting support and resistance is both a science and an art. You need to know the science behind it, you need to know the logic behind it, but the way you plot it also is dependent on how you perceive those areas. Please remember, just to give you a good grasp and context of how you define support and resistance, it's basically areas where there's a lot of buying, you consider that as support, connect those together. Areas where there's a lot of selling, that's your resistance, connect those points together. And those will be your lines where there will be a lot of selling. A support is an area where there's a lot of buying, as a resistance is an area where there's a lot of selling. So for this for this plotting, this is how it is. Resistance is at 233. There's another one at 215. There's another one at 180. There's another one at 142. There's another one at 113. And there's another one at 88. So let's try to zoom in. So if you follow it very follow it very well, sorry about that. If you follow it very well, you will see this. The current range where Jollibee is trying to move is basically this. You have a support at the 86, 87, 88 level, and you have a resistance at the 113 level. So why am I saying this? If Jollibee does not go up around the 113 level, then it shows us a narrative that this is really reinforcing itself as a resistance. Hence, if there's a lot of selling here, the possible narrative is it won't go up, but not just that, there's a possibility that it will just retrace back to where our current support level is. So where our current support level is, you have a support here, you have a resistance here. So that's how it could possibly go. Support over here. Let me try to just at least show you context on how much of a percentage is that. Support and resistance will be this level. So it's quite a big spread, no? For those who bought when it hit a low level, boom, it started to hit, it started to bounce, then your resistance should be around the 113 level for the short term. So again, you shouldn't be surprised if Jollibee does not break out from the 113 level because there's selling happening there. But above and beyond that, the main underlying trend here is telling you that, hey, sellers are still in control. Now, if somehow, some way you have Jollibee break out from the 113 level, then you can adjust your target. Next possible target will be at the 114 level as well. If I'll interlace a 200-day moving average, the 200-day moving average is close to the 218 level. The 100 days are at least close to the 195 level. The 50 days around the 180, and the 20-day, which is the fastest, is around the 142. So what does that mean to all of us? If I'll try to analyze this as well, it's showing us two things. So what we plotted for our support and resistance shows us very well that there is really a resistance at the 142 level for the short term. So again, it reiterates that if it somehow, some way breaks past the 113 level, target price possible, if it stays at the 113 level, will be at the 142 level for the short term. But if the 113 level does not hold, possible range that it will go to is the 87.4 level. So here are the ranges. If it does not break out from 113, the range is 87.4 to 113. If it breaks out from 113, target price is around the 142 level. But the underlying trend, based on the moving averages, based on the MACD, based on everything, is it still showing us that it's pretty much bearish as well. So even MACD is confirming all of the signals that we have. So that's how it is. That's how the charts are. And I hope that you got a lot from this. I hope that this is something that added tremendous value to all of you. Comment below if you stayed. We are at the 14-minute mark. Comment below if you're learning. I really do hope that this updates that I've been doing in different stocks, for Stocks by Request and for Jollibee, is something that gives you the right conviction on how you're supposed to go about your trading. And that's why I'm gonna keep on doing videos in the midst of the crisis, because at the end of the day, I really want you guys to win. I really want you guys to know as much as you can so that you have the right information, so that you get to decide. And I really do hope that you do not buy or sell stocks just because I say it or just because other people would say it, that you buy and sell stocks based on your own conviction and based on your own analysis, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna make you win and trade the markets for a very long time. So that's it for now. Links are down below for online courses with Chinkitan called Stock Market for Everyone and Make Money, Grow Money. It's a business and investing and stock market online course as well. And link is also down below for my Shopee books that you can have ordered wherever you are in the world as well. And lastly, if you like this, if this is something that gives you a lot of information and insight, super appreciated if you can like. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing and the stock market. So that's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.